Welcome to the Bali Insiders podcast. I'm Carly.
And I'm Emma, and we are your insiders in Bali.
We're here to give you all the best Bali tips and advice, whether you're holidaying here or making the move to Bali.
We're also bringing you insider chats with all of Bali's movers and shakers.
So if you've got Bali on your mind, this is a podcast for you.
Hi everyone, hi Em.
Hi Carls, how are you?
Good, welcome back to Bali Insiders podcast.
Before we get into today's guests' details and what we're chatting about, what's something exciting you've been up to lately, Em?
I went to the Ziggy Albert's concert last night at the Lawn, which was amazing.
Fun.
It was really fun. It was beautiful. The sunset. It was just stunning. Beautiful Bali moment.
A nice Tuesday Bali night.
It was. And what about you? What have you...
Or something I really loved that I did recently was an 18-course, but they're all little, omakase at Takumi restaurant in Seminyak.
Oh, wow.
Have you been there yet?
So I haven't been.
Crazy.
Stunning.
You could think you're in Tokyo. Anyway, it was amazing. Really amazing.
The things you can do.
The things you can do in Bali. In fact, there's so many things to do in Bali that kind of leads on to our guest today. We have Josh Catalano. Do you know Josh?
Well, you might know Josh, everyone listening, from his stint on MasterChef.
Yes, actually, many years ago he was on MasterChef, but for the past, quite a few years, him and his family have been calling Bali home, and he is heading up a launch of a brand new app in Bali called The Secret Society, which is basically connecting anyone who has an audience or is a content creator or likes to work in that space, maybe they're a model, with opportunities to collaborate with businesses in Bali.
The hospitality space.
Yeah.
In Bali.
Yeah. So it's launching in Bali right now. We're going to talk to Josh all about the Secret Society app. Hi, Josh. Thanks for being on the podcast with us today.
No worries. Thank you for having me.
Awesome. So, Josh, we actually start all of our interviews with the Bali Fast Five. So, just quick answers, and I'll start with, when did you first visit Bali?
Early 90s with the family, so I've been coming up for nearly 3 decades now.
What's your favourite area of Bali?
I must admit, I love the area that I live in now, albeit that a lot of my business is now happening Seminyak way, so I'm dealing with the Rao-Canggu traffic, but I love Perana.
Beautiful. What's your favourite restaurant in Bali?
Easy Shelter. I live on the same road. It's definitely my favourite restaurant.
What's your favourite local food?
Oh, there's so many, but nasi campur is my go-to. Baba guling slips in a little bit there too.
And what do you love most about Bali?
I think that the people and the culture is the main thing, but in recent times it's more about the lifestyle for my children. I can't picture them living anywhere else at the moment.
Yeah, agreed.
Thanks for the Fast Five. Now we know you a little better from that. We're going to get into why we're here, and it's your newest role that you've taken on the island, launching the Secret Society app. And before we go into the ins and outs of the app and what that looks like, let's start with the word that has become a little tainted in Bali, the word influencer. We know they've gotten the word influencer or being an influencer has gotten a little bit of a bad rap in the media over the last few years. But what a lot of people who don't work in the industry might not know is that influencers actually have a really important role to play in the area of hospitality and tourism. So can you talk us through a little bit about what role an influencer or someone with an audience does play to help businesses in hospitality and tourism?
Yeah, well, I think as a business owner or anyone that is in control of a venue, we always dream of just someone with 1 million followers walking into our venue and say, this place is amazing, and then it going socially viral. I think we all dream of that, but now I think that the realistic fact is that there are so many people out there with a voice. They have, whether it's 2,000 followers, but those 2,000 followers are 100% connected to them and their story, or someone with, 500,000 followers that a reach that could be global. I think that people have been influenced their whole entire life by different people. And now it's just in this modern day, it's a lot different landscape than what it used to be, where the days of, Michael Jordan influencing people, now it can be just a normal person on the side of the road.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think as well, that micro map, like the max and the micro influencer, like that kind of having that really niche person that's so connected to the brand can have just as much of an impact on a business as someone with 1 million followers, if they're engaged.
Yeah, I think even more so. I mean, if we have Kim Kardashian that goes into a cafe nowadays, most people will say, I wonder how much that cafe paid for that. Where you think someone that has 2,000 to 5,000 followers, they're real. People are genuinely following them. They like their content. And so, if you're looking at someone that has a really great lifestyle and it's nearly the same as yours, you're like, I'm going to follow that person. They seem like they're doing something pretty cool. And then they go to a venue and it says the food was great, location was great, then you're more genuinely going to go, okay, well, I might try that one. That person's actually real. They don't have this lavish lifestyle of flying in and out of jets. So it nearly seems that it's more approachable and within people's grasps.
Yeah, agree. And I guess what a lot of people don't realize is that the businesses are asking these kind of people to come in and experience if it's a cafe, their food, or if it's a spa, experience their spa and share it with their audience. So that is actually something that goes on. It's not always just the person with an audience approaching a business saying, hey, can you host me? But businesses are actually actively seeking out these people across different social platforms.
100%. It's just another marketing tool. We're not saying that the secret society, you should throw out everything that you're doing and move to our platform. We're just another cog in the wheel for that generation. It happens on both hands. I think that nowadays when we have these people that have a social reach, they're using it in somewhat of a power and they're approaching businesses saying, I can do this for your business. And then as a business owner sitting there internally with their team and saying, is this the right fit for us? What should we be offering these people, and how can we collaborate organically? And basically the Secret Society is here to clean that up and make it so much more easy, where, the venue will set the deliverables. So say, but we're willing to give them, if they do 4 stories and a positive Google review, then let's collaborate with them. And so that's essentially what we do. We align people with content or good-looking people to fill a vibe, enhance a vibe for a venue. And then the venue sets the deliverables that the content creator can agree to.
So good. It just cuts out all of the
manual labour.
Yeah.
But it actually cuts it out for both sides of it. Now, let's say that we have got someone that's got 2,000 followers and they're searching to be, 30, 40, 50,000 plus. We provide them a platform where they can, without DMing anyone, they can go onto our app and they can have a look at the events that whether it's a venue they've never been to or a fitness class that they want to try, and it gives them a whole scope of mapping out my week and saying, okay, well, Monday I'm going to go to the Body Factory, and then on Wednesday I'm going to go to Santana at night time. And so, and they're getting their own content. I mean, you girls know as well, it's hard to produce content, constantly coming up with stuff. So
it takes a lot of time.
Yeah, it's so it works both ways, and the business then can see their profiles and say, "Yep, let's collaborate." And that's as simple as it needs to be.
Okay, so now let's get down to the ins and outs of how the app works and the business model behind the app. So the monetization for you guys is the businesses are paying to be on the app. That's how it's working?
Yeah, so the business pays a monthly retainer to open up a platform for them. And then depending on how much they want to use the app, whether it's, 2-3 times a day at 15 people per interaction, it is a whole different scope that we can change that to suit the business.
Yeah, and obviously then that cuts out, like at the moment, the business has got a physical person sitting there DMing people on Instagram going, hey, would you like to come in to our venue?
Yeah, that's correct. And we have multiple different ways to use the app. So we can provide people with social power. So that they're a content provider or a blogger that has a social reach, we can supply that. And then if we think about the night space where, some nightclubs and venues that are not necessarily focused on social reach, it's more about enhancing vibes. So they want young, attractive people to come to their venue. And then we also can use the same people for photo shoots. So, obviously in Bali, people need to have a kid us to be a paid model because on the Secret Society, we do not pay any models or influencers. We provide a complimentary lifestyle through the collaboration with venues. So, when we have a restaurant that's looking for a model, it's not necessarily a catwalk model that they're requiring. They probably just need some good-looking people because the venue is the model. They want to promote their light fittings and the ambience of the venue. So, that hiring a modeling agency to supply a model to use the photos can be another expense that, a small business operator doesn't need to have. I think if you notice in Bali as well that, a lot of the times now people they're not using people in their social media anymore because it can be costly.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, a lot of the hotels we work with at Bali Buddies will often say to me, Carly, do you know a family who we can just get some shots of? Because it's really hard to find, they want an Aussie looking family because they want to promote the resort to the Australian market. And they're like, do you know a family that can come and get some photos done? We're happy for them to stay, for the night. We just need to get someone to get the photos done. So the fact that the app can fulfill that as well, I think, is a really interesting point.
Yeah, we're certainly not reinventing the wheel. I mean, this is what business operators have been doing for a long time. They ring out to all their friends and say, can you come and do this photo shoot for us? Because we don't want to have that expense of a model. And then, slowly but surely you run out of the friends list and then you start reaching out to everyone else. And I mean, if you have a look at some of the businesses that we work with, it's like, let's have a Botox space or an aesthetic business. A lot of people don't generally want to be that model for that product or even, them reaching out for Google reviews. It's nearly impossible because then they're putting their name against it to say, I get Botox, I get fillers. So, filling that gap is quite an easy one for us.
Yeah, definitely.
So in going on from there, who should sign up to the app? Is there an approval process? Is there a minimum number of followers you need? How do you guys determine who you accept for people who sign up to the app?
Because we're about to sign up. So just like, no.
I had a dollar for every time someone said, how do I get on the platform? No, I mean, at the end of the day, there is a process. We're not like Uber where we just accept everyone. Free to download, it's free to use. You do have to meet a certain criteria. So let's say we have someone that has 50,000 followers and it's just pictures of them and they're on the couch. They're generally probably not going to get accepted onto the platform. We need, at the end of the day, it's kind of like we need to be a glorified door girl. So let's think about the different categories of business that we could require. And then we need to fill that. So we're still really guided by the venues itself. They choose who they want to collaborate with. Have a look at each profile, whether it's social power or model power. Unfortunately, I start not to be fitting in that category, so I'm pushing 40 or I'm over 40 now. So we look for that sweet spot that we think is going to align with certain businesses, but we have different uses for them. So social power is one, and then model power is another one. We rate them in different categories to will suit different businesses. So we might have a really exclusive offer that's going to go to a staycation at a hotel that needs to say, okay, we're not going to collaborate with anyone below 50,000. So then we only push the profiles that have 50,000 above to the business. Obviously, if we put out a staycation at the hotel, that we're going to have every single person on the platform wanting to do that. But then the venue itself will have to look through thousands of profiles, so push the actual desired requirement to the actual venue.
Yeah, so there's still like a strategy and a marketing kind of strategy around it. It's not just, throwing a million, guests or influencers at the business. There's still a real strategy around how it works.
Sure. I mean, at the end of the day, like I said, it's a bit like a glorified door girl, but we're doing it politely before someone enters the venue. Experience some of that in the time where you've. I went to a venue the other day and I didn't have the appropriate shoes and I got kicked out. So this everyone, it's very clear, precise instructions. So the venue might say no beer branded t-shirts, high heels, dress elegant. So then the content creator can decide before they go there, okay, yeah, I'm willing to do that for those deliverables.
Yeah. And generally the deliverables, you did touch on it a little bit earlier, but what are the expectations from the venues to the guests or the clients?
Well, it does change venue to venue. Our minimum requirement is 4 stories and a positive Google review. When you start to, venues now say, oh, we want reels. Creating a good, engaging reel is challenging. You need like 15 videos. So the offering needs to be to a certain standard to actually deliver the content. So some venues, if we're going to have a staycation at a hotel, then they might require static posts. They might require a reel. So at the end of the day, the venue will say, well, this is what we want for what we're giving. And then the content creator decides yes or no. At the end of the day, it's doing 4 stories and a positive Google review is not very challenging. No matter how small the business is, they can get away with that quite comfortably. Yes. And that's not saying that they will not actually produce more. I think we did an activation yesterday at Samesa and they went over and above the requirement. It depends on if our guests are having fun, then they might produce a reel for that's over and above what they require.
Of course, if it makes good content. I've been in that situation myself with Bali buddies where, people will say, can you just come to the party and can you put a couple of stories up? And it's, yeah, sure. But then it's a great spectacle and you're like, of course I'm going to make a reel out of this because it's excellent content and people are going to want to see it. So that was actually going to be my next question to you is, what are the benefits to businesses beyond just getting access to potential influencers, guests, models when they pay for that? I guess there's some more benefits there, like what we just touched on, which is over delivery.
Yeah, well, at the end of the day, we're an organic marketplace. So it starts out with people choosing to collaborate with the venue. They show interest to the event or the activation that we have on the platform. So already the venue has one step ahead. They're like, oh, they're actually interested in coming here. So I always say to the venues during my pitch to say, this is really a gateway to your business. What you've got is someone with a social following that is willing to come to your venue. Now, what you do with them is completely up to you and how you run your business. So if you have the great location, great food and great vibe, well, the minimum requirements is one thing. They could end up then, after the activation is finished, they could stay and become a paying customer as well. We set the requirements. It might be a 1 or 2 hour activation, but after the 2 hour activation, they can be customers. So if you do the right thing, then you're ticking every box that could be perfectly suited to this content creator. They're more than welcome to stay and enjoy the rest of their time then.
That's right, and switch over and become a guest or bring their friends along, because they're going to be there for their activation, so they tell their friends to come and meet them there. That's the ultimate. When I've helped businesses collaborate with influencers before, that's the ultimate, is when the influencer or the guest comes, but then they're like, oh, hey, my friends are in town. Can you make an extra booking for 10? They'll pay. And you're like, excellent.
Of course.
Yeah, well, because then as well, the content's going to be great. They're having a good time. They're with their friends, and it's exactly what it's meant to be like. But we've all probably walked into venues as well and seen, certain tables of super attractive people. Everyone's on their phone. You're like, well, that's a comp table. The secret society is really meant to be just an organic, no one's meant to know. And that's why our name was the Secret Society, because we don't require anyone to tag. We don't want to be known. We want people to walk into the venue and think it's an organic interaction.
And what about, I guess the exciting part is for you to tell us a little bit about the response you've had from the business community in Bali. I know it's only just launched here in Bali. So who have been your quickest adapters, the people showing the most interest, and what can potential guests expect upcoming offers on the app as well?
Well, we certainly need to populate the app a lot more with some breakfast and daytime activations at the moment. I think if we look at the night space in Bali at the moment, it's super competitive. And so we're slowly attracting more and more venues to come on board, but we're super populated in the nighttime activities at the moment. And so when I probably think about, there's a massive shift in the market in Bali at the moment of people that are not necessarily partying late into the evenings anymore. They might be doing the daytime activities or the beach clubs or pool clubs. And then they might also just be doing a dinner and dance and home by 12 o'clock instead of, being in nightclubs till 3 a.m. in the morning. I think those days are past for me as well. But so there is definitely this mental push or certainly a change in the way that people are using the island. They're being a lot more health conscious. So we've had amazing success with the Body Factory. But yeah, I'm certainly looking for some more platforms for people to do during the day. And that's where our real growth is going to be.
Yes.
But I also find some hidden gems. I want to find the local operator and open up the platform for them for free of charge, because I think coming to the island and doing these things is also about supporting the community. So I can't wait to do my first activation with a local Burong, and them not even really understand what we're doing.
Best if you got some like little local food vendor and made them famous. Like, you know how Thailand has a few of those really famous food vendors that everybody goes to. That would be super fun.
And how cool would the content be? Like, you could make the content so good. Like, it'd be awesome.
Yeah. I'm actually trying to work out a way on how we can brand it, because obviously if we just put a Warung up there, because it's still an organic marketplace, it's like, no, this is the hidden gem. It's got like the Josh Catalano tick of approval. I've eaten at so many of these Warungs, and it's like, you go there and they've got dodgy furniture. And
you're like, but no, you want to be here. This is the best satay on the island.
Oh, we'll have a think. We'll think and send you some ideas.
But at the moment, I had a quick browse through, and you've got places like famous places like Coup d'etat, W, Resort, like you said, Samasa, one of our favorite dining experiences. They're already on the app and available for anyone who is already accepted onto the app now.
Yeah, we've got some amazing things in the pipeline as well. We have, I probably can't mention the brands as yet because they haven't officially signed, but we've got boat parties coming on. We've got more hotels. We've got a pretty nice day spa coming on board as well. So, but yeah, I want to really hit the gyms more often as well. And I think that's kind of the real, because it's really challenging. We obviously need to have exciting activations for our guests, and then the businesses that need to collaborate with them as well. So it's like a seesaw effect. It's like getting the right mix to make it perfect, because at the end of the day, the success of this is our guests and wanting to do our activation. So if we turn on the app and we've only got nightclubs on there, slowly but surely we're not going to have the right member mix. Yeah, my job over the next month or so is to really populate it with a good spread of activities. So it's super enjoyable for everyone.
So I guess the wrap-up message here is, if you are somebody who has an audience, or you would consider yourself a model that would look good in different photo shoots, then you're the type of people who should download the app. Anyone can download the app, but if you've got those qualities or attributes, they're the people who should apply to the app. And then if you get accepted, you've got a whole lot of activities that you can come over to Bali and collaborate with. And if you are a business,
if you're a budding young content creator and you've got 1,000 followers, but you're living a great lifestyle, you're young, you're energetic, then you're perfect for the app. We're going to populate so many different activities. I'm not saying that's the only category we're searching for, but if you've got 1,000 followers, then this is the platform that can really help you grow. You're going to sit with some people that have got 20, 30, 50,000 followers, and you can learn from them. And then the one thing as well that I never really picked up, as soon as I started really getting into the Secret Society, I went to Dubai and I was doing my training. And what I found as well is that it's creating a safe haven for young single people too, where, if they might be signing up with a promoter, they get pushed around to go to here, to there. This is like a safe haven for 10 or 12 girls to socially go out, meet new people, and not be in a subjected to, the dark side of those collaborations. So this is really, if we look at some of the girls that we collaborated with in the UAE, they're meeting lifelong friends through this platform. And when we have this sort of expat community here in Bali, people are always searching to meet new people. It's another little added bonus that was never probably really originally designed for the platform that has worked in its favour.
Great byproduct.
I think so. And like even just on that, like, with some of the things that you're working on, and I see on those groups often, like the Facebook groups and things, like people coming over here for those 3-month stints, or, they're doing their little like working remotely, but looking for a community and connection. And yeah, I was thinking that as you were saying that, I'm like, that's a great way. And, they're all gorgeous. So, they're wanting to meet people, and, it all kind of works so well
in together.
Another example is, let's say we've got a girl that's living in Australia, and she's going to come up for 2 weeks with her girlfriend, and one of them gets Bali belly. The other girl's like, well, I'm not going out without you. This is a perfect scenario where they can say, well, I'll just turn on the app and I'll go out there and I might meet some new people.
Yeah.
And then they spend the rest of their trip with new girls that they've met.
Excellent. Yeah. And then for business...
I don't know if we keep saying girls.
Or boys.
It is for guys too.
I've got a barber shop that's going at the moment, we're 95% female on the app, and I've got a barber shop saying, oh, can you help? And it's like, yes, we can, but we've only got like 30 guys, and guys are a lot harder to sort of tie down for this sort of stuff, but it is open to both sexes.
Guys, you're welcome to sign up on there.
Actually, the guys did really well on the app too, because obviously, when you talk about collaborating with hotels, they're not female-centric. They want the mix. So it's like, let's go 50-50. And so if we've got a smaller portion of guys, they get accepted to so many more events.
Yeah. Well, that's a bonus.
Well, there you go, guys. Get on there.
That isn't some incentive. And what about if businesses are interested in being on the app? Josh, how do they do that?
Well, they can reach out to me at the end of the day as well. Finding, I don't know whether we can put my contact details down. I'm happy to put my email address. You just call out, and then I can come out and meet you and tell you what we can and can't do, how the app works, and in a real simple manner. And then, but what we want to do is make sure that we finalise what the business is actually trying to promote. I mean, hotels, their requirements and what they're searching for is a lot different to gyms and nightclubs. So we fine-tune the offer to make sure it suits the business.
Excellent. Yeah. I love it. I think it's it's an automation of what's happening already. So it's a great solution. It's a time saver.
And a great place to do it.
Yeah. Well, of course, Bali is the ultimate.
Yeah.
I mean, and you've already had...
Yeah, it is a little bit of a transient community, and I think the expats living on the island have been a little bit too slow to pick up on this, but eventually they're going to have they can... I think once you start living that expat lifestyle, you start to become a little bit Indonesian as well, when you find those who and not going to the beach clubs anymore, and you're not doing those things that we probably end up spending a lot more money on. So having free access to day beds at beach clubs is something that probably an expat isn't really searching for, but this can provide a platform to get them out and about again.
There you go, expats too. Emma?
I'm on.
I'm already on, so...
Do you have like a family category? Like maybe...
Oh, that was one of the first things. In my first month in Dubai, I was like, what do you think about doing like a different categories? And they're still obviously catering for the masses, but this is early stages of the company as well. So, I mean, it's not early stages. We're 7 years old in Dubai, but only, 1 month in Bali, but it will eventually be worldwide. And I think that once we start to have the complete success of it internationally, then all these different categories can open up, because that mothers club age bracket here in Bali, where they're always searching for things for the kids, it's begging for the secret society.
Definitely. Well, we love it.
Yep.
But you're not quite finished yet. Emma, would you like to ask Josh? We do have a final question.
Well, we always then wrap up our interviews with your best Bali tip. So it can be anything.
Oh, my best Bali tip is just purely embrace the island and probably move away from the purple circle. But when you think about people coming here, they've done their Instagram trips and they know they're ticking off all the lists to go. But there's so many hidden gems on this island. There's some amazing stuff. Eat the local food. I sort of say when you come to Bali, don't go and eat pasta. There's embrace the island and embrace the culture and do those things that that us as expats absolutely love about this island.
Well, thank you
Good
so
tip.
much, Josh. It's been great having you.
Thanks for the invite, and looking forward to seeing how this new platform works for you girls as well.
We are too. Well, super interesting.
Super interesting. Such a perfect app, I think, for this island.
I know. I signed up a couple of weeks ago and I've been playing around on it and having a look at the different offers on there. And so I think, if you're good at taking pictures or you like to share your tips, maybe you're just a foodie and you like to share your tips with your couple of thousand friends, sign up to the app because there's opportunities. So you're signing up, Em?
Oh, definitely. I've already signed up. But we're going to link everything in the show notes, details on if you're a business or you're the content creator, how you go about it.
Yep, all the details will be in the show notes and then hopefully it will be of some assistance to you when you're coming over to Bali and you can experience all these amazing things via the Secret Society app.
Totally.
So as always, we will have this on our Instagram as well. Give us any of your questions, any of your suggestions, and we will see you on the next podcast.
Thanks for listening to Bali Insiders Podcast. If you love tuning in as much as we love making it, please subscribe and leave us a review.
You can also follow us on both Facebook and Instagram and drop us a DM if you have a topic you'd like us to cover.
We love keeping you up to date with what's really happening in Bali.